Thank you for joining us this midday. I'm Dimitri Obalor. We're going to get right over to the Dallas newsroom with David Schechter. He has breaking news out of Irving. David.
Hi, Dimitri. Yeah, so we have now confirmed from Dallas Urban Search and Rescue that they have a crew. They have multiple crews on the way to a garage collapse in Irving in the Las Colinas area. We also have our chopper on the way, but this has just happened a few moments ago, probably within the last 20 minutes. You can't see these pictures right now. We're working to turn them around, but I can tell you that on Facebook we have some images from a woman named Bonnie Flores who's out there. We can see a garage has collapsed. It looks like a two-story garage, and the cars from that top floor have collapsed through the bottom floor. We have no reports of injuries or if any rescues are underway, but this was prior to lunchtime, a very crowded parking garage. We can see them sort of stacked up on top of each other. There it is right now. So you're seeing this just as soon as I'm seeing it. We've counted probably at least a dozen cars that are involved in this. It's actually hard to tell if that's 3 stories or 2. It looks like it's possibly the roof would be the 3rd story. Dallas Fire and Rescue says the parking garage collapse as an Irving Fire is on the scene. Dallas Fire and Rescue has sent the Urban Search and Rescue team that goes looking through the rubble in situations like this to find people and save them if they are in fact in there. It is unknown if anybody was inside at the moment. So we have this image. I don't believe this is my computer. So if we can scroll, I don't know who's controlling that right now, this Facebook post, but there are 3 pictures inside this post if you want to scroll through there. So here you can see sort of this sandwiching of cars on top of each other, and also some of the concrete in the middle. I think there's one more picture perhaps in this sequence. If we can take a look at that 3rd picture, maybe it's just 2 pictures. So we have confirmation from, okay, now we have our chopper on the scene, so you can see, and it's a section of that complex, of that parking garage. Not the entire floor, but a hole has fallen through there. And now that you're seeing that, you can see the pavement on the area below looks like it's from the parking deck above. So I would say that's just a 2-story parking garage from what we're seeing here. And yeah, really, that's pretty stunning to see that. A car with the door open. Wonder if somebody was in there and got out when this happened. It's just unclear. We don't know much now. You can see some firefighters on the ground who are observing from the ground. Don't appear to be involved in a rescue. So that is sort of a good indication at the moment. Okay, now as we're coming around, you can see all the cars that have tumbled out from that top floor. We have crews on the way as well to the ground. But we'll be looking to hear from Dallas Urban Search and Rescue. So there you can see, pretty stunning image. So now we have firefighters approaching the vehicles. What you'd want to do in an urban search and rescue situation is check every vehicle and then presumably mark it with spray paint to indicate that you have checked that vehicle and that it is clear, so that the crews that would come in behind you are not rechecking all the vehicles again. So to bring order to some of the chaos here. This is in Irving in Las Colinas. If we were able to give you a bird's eye view, we're talking about O'Connor, near O'Connor Boulevard and 114. And so you're probably about a mile away from the heart of Las Colinas with the Mustangs. And here we are I believe this would be to the east of 114 at O'Connor and 4545 Fullerton. And the cars are piled up on top of each other. Pretty stunning image. Don't see truly any active signs of urban search and rescue going on right now. We know that Dallas Urban Search and Rescue was on their way over there to this parking garage collapse in Irving in Las Colinas. We have no indication right now of any injuries, and we are actively monitoring all the radio channels. We have people on the ground. The Irving Police Department has a public information officer who was heading out there for, I see a firefighter approaching some of these vehicles, heading out to update the media on what's going on. Haven't seen any stirring or anybody about. Okay, so now we have a firefighter working their way to these vehicles. This was about 11:20 or 30, prior to the lunch hour. Ideally, you'd have a lot of people inside working, not in the parking lot at this time. Okay, and Irving Fire has now tweeted that there have been 21 vehicles inside this collapsed area. So that's what we're looking at right now, 21 collapsed vehicles. The primary search for people, this is Irving Police again, is clear. So that is good news. They've searched the area. And they've found no people in a primary search. A secondary search, again, this is coming from Irving Fire, is conducting now a second search. Perhaps this is the second search that's underway. But their preliminary search at least indicates no people involved yet. And we are seeing 2 firefighters. We saw many more on the ground, but these are just the 2 doing what we can see at least from right now.
And David, for people who are just joining us right now, we're talking about actually looking like a firefighter having some trouble finding his footing there. I know you have a closer view, David. What did you just see in that moment? It's still shaky out there.
Yeah, Demetra, so this is the secondary pass, and you can see these firefighters have just, basically, it appears to me, have cleared that maroon vehicle and are perhaps listening to or talking to someone else to get orders to go elsewhere. I would like to reset, if we can, Demetra, and just let everybody know that they're looking at a parking garage at 4545 Fullerton, which is in Irving. There's been a parking garage collapse. We're told from the Irving Police Department that 21 vehicles have been involved in this collapse, and that they have done a primary search and so far have found no indication that anybody was injured or involved. And now they're conducting what looks to be the secondary search. And all we see right now are these 2 firefighters. We do know that, and we don't know exactly where they're from, but we can tell that Dallas Urban Search and Rescue, USAR it's called, is indicated to us that they were on their way. And that was probably 20 minutes ago or 25 minutes ago to assist in the search here. But at the moment, it appears to be not a frantic scene and under control. All the vehicles have already been searched, Demetra.
Well, there was an image that we showed a little bit earlier, David, that did seem to be a little jarring. There was a vehicle with one of its doors ajar, and we were wondering, is that an indication that somebody was there when this collapsed, and perhaps they aren't injured, but maybe was present when all of this took place?
Yeah, that you have to wonder if somebody was in their car and came out, got themselves out of that vehicle. Would be a heck of a story to hear. We also have, if we're able to, let's call those Facebook pictures up again from a woman named Bonnie Flores, who took a couple of pictures from the ground, which are just as striking.
Wow.
To see that sort of sandwich of vehicles. I mean, I count one, there's at least 6 or 7 cars in there right now. So you'd think the firefighters are sort of walking over that space, that we saw from up above. So now you can see the hole from below.
Well, we think about parking garages and the planning. I mean, the infrastructure required to develop something like this, and obviously a major failure here. And I'm sure there's going to be a massive investigation beginning here very soon into what happened. I mean, there's that vehicle we were talking about. This is HD Chopper 8 right now with one of the SUV Lexus with its door ajar, the driver's door. That's pretty scary.
Yeah, I mean, who that could have perhaps opened up when the car fell down. It's hard to tell, but if that's somebody's life story from today, that how did they get out of that car? And there's essentially nothing below them for many feet. So to get out of that situation would be pretty harrowing.
It's very difficult to see all of the vehicles. I mean, this one right here that appears to be under a Toyota Highlander SUV, we can see that it's white, but we can't see much else. And David, I have to ask you, in secondary searches, I mean, what are these first responders typically looking for? I mean,
Well, it's just any sign of life. So it'd be similar to a blast zone, or when you go home to home. You've seen that in flooding situations. You've seen that in explosions and tornadoes. You want to go to each place where somebody would be and thoroughly search that, and then indicate that there was nobody in there. And then if there was, we'd be, I think we'd be seeing some rescues beginning now. So the tone of the scene from above seems to be relatively under control. There is enough time here now that you'd have, and I don't know if we'd see it on a wide shot, but you'd have a lot of crews here at this point. And so this is, I think, a good indication that it's quiet, that the first pass indicated there was nobody in there.